The last thing we're going to do is talk about our conclusion. Our concluding paragraph is our last paragraph, our fifth paragraph, because I already have an intro and then three body paragraphs. So that's four paragraphs. This is my last one, my fifth paragraph. This concluding paragraph needs to tie back up with my intro paragraph. So it shouldn't be the same. You should not be copying and pasting, but they should sound pretty similar. The first thing you need to do in your concluding paragraph is to restate your thesis. Now, like it says right here, these sentences wrap up your paper and tell your reader the important ideas. You need to change the wording on your thesis statement though. So if you're doing a research paper, you could say, for example, cleaning up beach pollution will help all of us because, and whatever your reasons were, or to cut down on fossil fuels, people need to, whatever you think. For op-eds, my first example is restating that college athletes should get paid. So I said universities should consider compensating athletes for their hard work because they practice and perform like professional athletes. My second one, organizations must work together to save the whales because they are an important species to our future generations. I'm just rewording what my thesis statement said. Then, after that, what you need to do is you need to write a clincher. A clincher is a sentence that tells, or two, sentence or two, that tells your reader what you want them to do. This is your call to action. This is where you can get, especially with your opinion piece, a little passionate, a little fiery. Tell the reader why they must take action or what they must do. What do you want them to do? So for the research paper, you want it to still sound pretty professional. Don't go crazy. So I put, in order for our planet to continue to thrive, we must, to preserve our environment, by continuing to reduce fossil fuels, we will help future generations. For op-eds, social media sites must, by limiting junk food from cafeterias, we are. However you really want to end your paper. Now when you're done, here's your checklist. First, did I actually do what I needed to? Did I restate my thesis? And did I conclude with a clincher? Now, does my clincher make people want to do something? Number 3, if you're not sure, ask someone to read it. If they're bored, consider revising it. Now, once you've done all of this is your last video. So you've already gone through your introduction, your 3 body paragraphs, and now your conclusion. So we've revised, we've changed our words, we've reordered our sentences, we've added sentences and maybe even deleted sentences. Now you got to edit the paper. You have to check to make sure that you have correct spelling, grammar, and formatting. Let me start with some differences. For your research paper, it needs to be formal language. There are no contractions, so I didn't, isn't, you need to spell out all of your contractions. And there are no personal pronouns. It's written in third person point of view. It is third person objective. You are telling information. You are not putting yourself into the paper. For your op-ed, your language can be a little more conversational. You can use pronouns. It's not a problem. It's a little stronger if you actually just say why something is important instead of I think it is important. So it's the difference between saying we must save the polar bears and I think we should save the polar bears. For both of them, try to vary your sentences. Maybe start with a dependent clause, maybe start with a prep phrase, combine your simple sentences, and you have to check for your spelling. If you see a red squiggly line, chances are you've spelled something incorrectly or used a wrong homophone. Please check. All of your papers need to be in 12-point font, Arial Times, and a full heading on top. We will double space them, so don't worry about that because on your iPads it can be really tricky. But if you can double space on your iPads, please do. I think the newer ones, actually, I think that was kind of a fix that we got. So this is like everything that you need to do to make sure your papers are really ready to go. I know your research paper is further along than your op-ed. That's okay. Your research paper needs to be pretty darn close by the end of today. You will have one more chance to print it out and do final edits, and that's it. For your op-ed, by tomorrow, on Wednesday, you're sharing this with an 8th grader, so it needs to be in pretty good shape. Otherwise, you're going to be asking for feedback on a paper that's not as strong as it could be. Use your time wisely today. If you need anything, I'll be on email, so you can email me, and I should be able to get back with you pretty quickly, maybe even while during class. I'll also be available on Wednesday after school. I'll be available Thursday during ART. Please use your time wisely so these papers are both very strong.